What's up guys, it's Mohammed here once again with another war recap. This time it's the midweek war. I haven't been doing recaps of the midweek wars, but I did want to show a couple of Mealypudding's Valkyrie attacks, and he got 2 3-stars in the midweek, so worth going back to. I wouldn't recommend everyone starts using Valkyries because they're not easy to use, but if you want to use them, then this is the kind of base you're probably going to want to go for. It's got a nice big core, about the same size as the rage spell actually, so perfect, get those Valkyries in there and they're going to rip that apart. So, like most raids, Mealypudding is going to start off by getting the lure and bringing them across to the side. And I really like this lure kill. I think I was watching this live at the time and I was thinking, what's Mealypudding doing? He's taking so long getting the troops all bunched up. Why does he need to do that? I'm guessing he's brought a 2-1-2 in his clan castle. It's completely unnecessary. But then he gets them bunched up eventually, and suddenly down goes the Valkyrie and just wipes the whole lot of them out. There you go. Whole clan castle down. So I like that, pretty cool. And now what he's going to do is he's going to start creating the funnel on the side here. So knocking out those trash buildings, using the golem to soak up some damage, and then once he feels that the Valkyries aren't going to go walk about around the base, he'll drop them in around the position of that army camp there. And one of the things I've noticed, not being a Valkyrie user myself, although I did attempt to use them this weekend without much success, but not being a Valkyrie user myself, I've noticed you don't seem to need to go and grab the queen because the Valkyries aren't going to take too much damage from her. And I think actually, having spoken to Mealypudding, there's an advantage almost to not taking out the queen beforehand, because the Valks love the queen, and you can see there they've skipped all the defense and they've just jumped straight in the middle to get that queen. So a base like this where you've got a centralized queen and you've got quite a big core is just perfect for Valkyries. And then now he's taken out the core and he's taken out one side, so his main issue at this point is point defense around the side. So while the Valkyries are stuck in the middle, he's got a nice spread of hogs there, and they're going to take out those wizard towers, and they're also going to take out that more dangerous point defense, and make sure those Valks in the middle don't get bogged down and taken out while they're trying to escape the centre. And now at this stage he's got pretty much all his Valkyries still alive, and he's got his hogs going round doing work as well. So this raid's basically over, and it was against a pretty tough base. Mealypudding attacking someone around his range, so it wasn't like it was an easy base. His hog strategy definitely getting a lot more powerful. I think it'll be something I'll be trying a bit more in future as well. Definitely as well against bases like this with a big core and a hero in the centre that's going to drag those Valkyries in. So we'll just watch this cleanup unfold. Obviously there's no defences left, and then we're going to jump into another Valkyrie raid from Mealypudding after this as well, against a slightly easier base, but again showing you how to get it done pretty well. I think from what I've seen, it's all about the funnel really. So if you're confident that you can get the funnel and you see a base like this, then it could be the kind of base to go for. And I guess another advantage to using Valkyries is they're not as susceptible to the double giant bomb threat as hogs are. Okay, so raid 2 now. Mealypudding again using Valkyries, attacking down a little bit more this time, but it's again another tough base. And you can see very similar. Hasn't got the queen in the centre, so he hasn't got that draw into the centre. So I don't know if this was a little bit more difficult to get the funnel on. Perhaps not to funnel to the outside layer, but it's getting into the centre that's obviously going to be a bit more tricky. But you can see again it's got a really big core, this base, and particularly good for Valks, because if you look at the core there, I mean the chances are there's going to be some giant bombs in there, and they're just not going to hurt Valks, especially with a heal, because they've got so much health. They really are a tanking troop that can do a lot of damage. So there you go, standard clan castle lure and kill, a little bit less risky than perhaps the strategy on the last one. And then dropping in the giant to help protect some of the wizards so you can create that funnel. But he's also got the enemy queen in there, taking her out, and I think he's going to drop his Valks in a second, and they're going to go straight for the queen, and then Mealypudding knows they're going to be on those particular buildings, and they're just going to follow his jump into the centre, and that worked out pretty nicely for him. So perhaps not as easy to funnel into the centre because the queen wasn't centralised, but it didn't really matter. And then rage in the centre, and they're just going to shred the centre of that base now. And while the defences are focusing inwards on the high health Valkyries, he can deploy his hog riders around the outside, and they don't actually particularly need any heals. Obviously you might want a couple of heals for them to share perhaps with the Valkyries, but really if the Valkyries are doing the tanking and distracting all of the defences around the outside, you can just drop those hogs in and wipe out the defences, and there you go. A really nice attack, well executed, and it's just a cleanup phase now. So I'll leave it at that for the Valkyrie raids for now. I'm going to jump ahead hopefully on the next video and show you our war against what I think was a Romanian clan, which went particularly well this weekend. They weren't happy with the matchup, and I wasn't sure whether they were right or wrong to start with, but it turned out that they were right. It was a bit of a mismatch. Lots and lots of 3 stars to choose from, but I've picked out a few of the best to show you guys. So back with another video soon. Thanks for watching. Until then, Mohammed saying goodbye.